Thiagarajan, a new Rotarian, and today I'd like to talk a little bit about the four-way test and what it means to me in my own professional work. I'm an educator. I used to be a teacher, and now I train teachers and I consult. I'm a consultant to schools, and so I work with students, teachers, school leaders, and schools on a daily basis. For me, the questions that the four-way test poses are absolutely crucial questions in my own professional life, and they've given me a wonderful framework, a way to think about how I think, speak, and behave. Right? I think they're also questions that can be unpacked much further than they have been. For example, the question of being fair to all. Right? As an educator, I think fairness and inclusivity, being fair to absolutely every student, every parent, every stakeholder is very, very crucial. Regardless of background, caste, class, religion, ability levels, language proficiency, whatever it might be, every child deserves an excellent education. Every child deserves to be treated fairly. But it's hard in practice, right? What does it actually mean to be fair to everybody? What if one person's needs conflicts with someone else's? Right? As a teacher, if you have high ability students and low ability students in the same classroom, how are you fair to both of them with your time, your energy? How are you being fair to all? If one group of parents wants something in a school and another group wants something very different, or what the parents want is different from what the teachers want, how are you fair to all? Right? So for me, I think the question is a very interesting question. How can we be fair to all concerned? And often it requires a lot of thought, a lot of negotiation, diplomacy, but it's a very, very important question to be asking all the time. How can we be as close as possible to being fair to all? Similarly, I think the question of, is it true, right? Are the things we think, say, and do true? Is a very important and interesting question, and a difficult one, right? And true in what way? Truth itself can be a very subjective concept, can be a matter of perspective, right? One person's religious truth is different from another's. One person's view on, even a historical event, the truth that is told about that event is very different in one country versus another. So how do we first of all determine what is true? How can we be true also to ourselves, to our own values, right? As Shakespeare says, to thine own self be true, is very important. So what do we mean when we say, is it true? I think it raises a lot of interesting questions, and it's a great question to be asking. Of course, will the thoughts, words, and actions have goodwill, create goodwill, and be beneficial to all concerned? These are very, very important things, especially in my work in education, where the stakes are high. We're working with kids, we're working with the next generation. It's very important work. So we need to make sure that there's a real benefit, that everything we do is done with the best of intentions, and that there is a real benefit. So to conclude, I'd like to say that I think the four-way test is a very, very important, wonderful test, both personally and professionally, as a kind of guide to help me be the best person I can be. Thank you.